What is up, guys? It is Jake and Bryson here with Bars Unlimited, coming at you guys again with another reaction video. Last time we brought you guys a little bit off by Five Finger Death Punch, and today we have got Big K.R.I.T or K.R.I.T. K.R.I.T. We got Big K.R.I.T and his song Price of Fame. Now, this video came out 2 years ago according to the upload date, and I've never heard this before. I've never even heard of this artist, but I've already seen I've heard good things about it, so tell me what you know about it.
So the biggest thing that I know about it is he's an artist from the southern area somewhere, and I have not really heard too many songs from him, but I have heard this song. Actually, Ryan and George from Lost in Vegas put me on to this song, and I really like what he talks about, the way he talks about it, and just it has a really powerful meaning, not so much to a broke guy like myself, but just the way that he presents the information. It's easy to understand, and you're like, wow, this is really some insight into who he is and the things that he deals with and stuff. So I just like, when you're listening to it, the beat is not crazy, but the lyrics, just the way that he paints the picture, you're like, damn, I don't have to be rich to understand what he's talking about. And I think the beat fits in well with that. And just like I said, the messaging above all is just really, really good on this song. And I really think you'll like it.
All right, so here we go. So can you give me a little bit of background information? Price of Fame. So I'm going to kind of come up with a, like, what I think it's going to be. So you think you could tell me whether or not, what I get from this title is that he's going to be explaining what it's like to be famous. Like, some people are always like, oh, I want to be famous, I want to have this and that, all the fame and whatnot, but are they ready to pay the price for that? And I'm guessing we'll get a little bit of insight about what that's like.
Yeah, so in this song, he's going to be talking a lot about, like, there's fame, but there's a price that comes with it, you know? People say when you get famous, the people that are around you change. And sometimes people look at you different, you know, those people that weren't talking to you a month ago are now in your DM. I mean, just different things like that. And it's like, you know, everybody thinks, yeah, I'd love to have all the money in the world and this, that, and the other thing, but there's a price that comes with that. And he's going to be giving his perspective on what that looks like to him. And that's why I said it's a really cool perspective. And like I said, the way that he words things with his lyricism, it's like, wow, I can totally see that, you know?
All right, well, without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this reaction / review of Big K.R.I.T's Price of Fame. I got the, I almost said subtitles. I got the lyrics up on the right screen, and we're going to go ahead and get this business started. 3, 2, 1.
Damn, no. Paparazzi after my shows asking me questions. God fed up with my soul, so ain't no blessings. Happiness can't be bought a soul, I learned my lesson. Now I see what fame will really get you. About a nightstand to ease the stresses.
Wow, that's definitely a real thing too. I heard a lot of artists say is you know, the bottle by the nightstand thing, you know, like, you know, it's tough, you know, it's kind of a tough life with all this stuff happening and whatnot, and a lot of alcoholics, you know, make up our celebrity population. So I definitely
exactly. And the other thing is, he's going to get into it more, but again, one of the things he's going to touch on is, like, when you're in that situation and you're famous and stuff, it's hard to relate to people, especially when you come up from, like, hood environments without, like, a lot of money, because people are dependent on you and they can't really understand some of the things you're going to, because, like he said, happiness can't be bought or sold. But you hear the thing like, well, if money can't buy happiness, how about somebody send me some and we can test that out? It's like, well, do you really believe that? I mean, hell, if I had that much money, I can't imagine being too upset, you know? And he's going to get into that because, again, it's like another thing, like, it's hard to understand unless you're in it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
All right.
And I just love God fed up with my soul, so ain't no blessing. Like, even though that's not, like, crazy, just the way that he worded that is like, wow. I really love that.
All right, let's keep it going.
All right.
Oh, well, I hit the wrong button. I hit the mute button.
Dressing, fiending for affection, so I'm buying out the section. Now I see what fame will really get you. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. That lifestyle left a lot of rich folk brainless to the temple. Yeah, we were broke, but that life was simple. Besides, food is food, water is water, air is air, the rest is mental. I did without until I did within. I said on beat what I wrote in pen. I gave my all without giving in. But it's a thin line between heavenly divine and living a life of sin. Speaking cold to my worthy friends, green room full. I pray we ain't let the devil in. A lot of faces I don't know. A lot of where you been, like you was really looking for me. When I was in the wind, life is just...
So just right there, all of the things that he said, like we don't necessarily need to explain it too much because it's pretty self-explanatory. But like, for instance, the line where he said, it's a thin line between heavenly divine and living a life of sin. Like everybody is one mistake away from being on the opposite side of that. You can do everything you can and then you're just right there. Like sinning is not hard. Another thing that he said, green room full, or speaking codes to my worthy friends, green room full, I pray we ain't left the devil in. Like, you know, speaking code to my worthy friends, when you start getting rich, the people that are in it with friends with you for the right reason, that's hard to blur those lines sometimes. You know, because then, like I said before, people that was talking to you wasn't giving you the time of day a month ago, now all of a sudden are like, oh, it's been a long time, how you been, brother? You know what I mean? Definitely. And it's like, wow, that's really true. And pray we ain't let the devil in, you know, somebody that could possibly hurt you in some way, or, you know, somebody into your camp that's really not in it for your greater good, but cares more about just, hey, give me some of that cash. You know what I mean? Like they're not, they don't care about you. They just want what you have to offer.
Definitely. I feel
and
that.
A lot of faces I don't know, a lot of where you beens, like you was really looking for me when I was in the wind. Like,
I remember
like
that.
A lot of where you been's like, hey man, how's it been? I haven't talked to you in a while. It's like, well, hold on a minute. When I was struggling, you weren't looking for me.
Exactly.
Like I didn't exist to you, but now that I've got a little money, I'm doing well for myself. Now all of a sudden, hey buddy, what's up? You know, let me bring it in. And it's like, wow. So again, just the lyricism there is like, wow, you can totally see it.
And he's not, and you can see it when he's not specifically just telling you how it is. He's kind of using subliminals to help you get the message. And I really like when lyrical artists use stuff like that, because they kind of they make you think about it and make you figure it out instead of just laying it all out for you on a plate, which is definitely something a good lyricist would do. So that's definitely something that I really like about this. So we're gonna keep going with it.
All right, let's do it.
The game now, I really got my aim down to shoot for stars. I ain't been to church in years and it ain't even far. This ain't even half of the battle, I ain't even start. All I do is record. I see what fame will really get you. Now I see what fame really get you. Paparazzi after my shows asking me questions. God fed up with my soul, so ain't no blessings. Happiness can't be bought a soul, I learned my lesson. Now I see what fame will really get you. About a nightstand to ease the stresses. Dealing with depression, pills on the dresser. Fiending for affection, so I'm buying out the sections. Now I see what fame will really get you. I
didn't even catch that
on
the
top
first time,
of that,
actually.
Fiends, smoke, pills, drugs, fiends, you know, it's just like really good. And again, the chorus is saying, now I see what fame really gets you. You know, everybody has these grandiose ideals that once they make a little bit of money, life will be perfect. But as he's talking about here, like, look at all these things that are changing. People around me are changing. The way people look at me is changing. And what he's going to get into in the next verse is even crazier to me. And it's something like, wow. So, that's, oh, oops.
Part out.
Bottles just to soothe my soul, still crying over granted. That was some years ago. I'm a man now. I came up to hold my fam down. Can't tell them about my depression, cause most them fans now. Gotta protect myself at all times. I know some partners that's been sued by their bloodline. Lord forbid I let my blood die. The first time I say no, guess we ain't blood now. Scared me as
I definitely
a
see
bitch.
the impact of that. Oh shoot, what'd I do? All right, yeah, the first time I said no, the first time I said no, then we ain't blood now. That's actually really heavy, you know. Like, oh, when I heard that one, Lord forbid I let my blood down. The first time I say no, guess we ain't blood now.
Man, this whole part is so crazy. He says, I came up to hold my fam down. Can't tell them about my depression because most of them fans now. Like I said earlier, he's in a spot where, you know, like he alluded to, he's taking care of his family. They didn't got money. They're looking at him like, dude, you're making millions. Chip some over to us. Like, we brought you up. Come on, man. Give it back.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
then,
yeah.
you know, and he's talking about, man, he's having a hard time with depression and stuff. He can't tell them about his depression because most of them fans now, like, they're not only are they relying on him financially, but they're like, oh man, yeah, go Big K.R.I.T. You're awesome. That's how they view him, as Big K.R.I.T. He's no longer what they're going to talk about here in a little bit. He's no longer that guy. He's the guy that's supporting for him. And like you said, Lord forbid I let my blood down. First time I say no, guess we ain't blood now. And really, like, what that says to me is like, you know, you take care of people and you do all these things to help them. And then before long, it's like you don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
And they almost to an extent become reliant on you, to the extent where once you say no, they're like, whoa, what do you mean no?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
can't, like
then I guess you don't care about me then.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then they're like, oh, well, obviously you don't care about me because you know I'm not making as much as you and I got bills to pay. And come on. Like,
Yeah.
it's just amazing, amazing lyricism in that whole thing. So, yeah, so let's keep it going.
All right, let's get it.
This man is like all they see. Justin Scott trapped this Big K.R.I.T, screaming it's really me. When it was only us, it was only love. How could this be? They're falling out for some is not getting the VIP. In a simple.
That is absolutely crazy. Okay, so he said, scared me as a businessman is all they see. Justin Scott trapped his Big K.R.I.T, screaming it's really me.
Yeah.
So that line, his real name is Justin Scott. But again, because they're relying on him and stuff, they're like, oh, what do you mean, Justin Scott? You're Big K.R.I.T. You can take care of us, man. And he's saying, like, hey, guys, Justin Scott, I'm still the same dude. I'm the one that you grew up with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Big K.R.I.T, but I'm still your family member. But here they are saying, like, oh, I guess we ain't blood now because, you know, you can't do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's just crazy. When falling out for some is not getting the VIP. Like, a falling out is like, wow,
oh,
man.
Wow. That at first I was like, I was trying to figure out what that meant, but
When falling out for some is like not getting the VIP. So in other words, like, oh man, well, oh, you know, I guess we ain't too good at friends because you can't even get me the VIP at your show.
exactly.
That is insane lyricism right there. Just like I said before, the picture he is painting is just incredible. Like,
I agree with that too.
Like, and you can totally see it.
It makes you look at, you know, the side of people who are famous and the people who have all this fame. You know, it's not always, you know, the whole grandioso deal, like you said. Like, you got a lot of stuff going on, like with people changing around you, and that's definitely one of the things that I picked up, because he's definitely talking a lot about the people and how they change when they're around someone famous versus when they're not. Like people maybe when you're in high school won't even bother to talk to you, but as soon as you get a few bucks in your pocket, they're like, hey, remember we were always good friends back in the day. Like, really, you're the one that threw paper wads at me in math class. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And just like the way that he's painting this picture, man, I just love this song. Even, and really, like we talked about before, it's not an in-your-face beat. It's a very kind of somber. It's good. I like it, but it's not crazy. And it really makes you pay attention. The way he's rapping, as well as the beat, is just kind of a backdrop, which means, all right, I'm going to hone in on the lyricism. And when he's talking like this, like, wow, okay, you know, he's talking about something. You know, so many times, especially in rap music, you just listen to these songs and you're just like, what are they really talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I mean, you hear one song and you've heard every song.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like, and
Definitely,
just
I
to
agree.
hear this is like, wow, it's really good. Again, it's not so dense that you're just like, I don't even understand what he's saying. It's easy enough to understand, but at the same time, he's given it slick bars. You know what I mean? He's still, you can understand what he's talking about. He's given you his perspective, which is important. You
Yeah,
know, a lot of
definitely.
people, it's like, well, you know, you talk about smoking and doing all this stuff. Well, you know, that's great, but um, we've heard 35 other people talk about the exact same thing. So who are you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We want to know you. Like, you can tell the same story as 15 other people, and you're going to fit in with those 15 other people, but we don't know you. And he's telling his truth.
Yep.
And I just really like that. So,
All right, let's finish this.
yeah.
Simple conversation means we talking work. To play a song that's almost perfect, but it need my verse. You got an artist, but I'm family, but you need a purse. You hit the city, but don't call me first. That's what paparazzi after my shows asking me questions. God fed up with my soul, so ain't no blessings. Happiness can't be bought a soul, I learned my lesson. Now I see what fame will really get you. About a nightstand to ease the stresses. Dealing with depression, pills on the dresser. Fiending for affection, so I'm buying out the sections. Now I see what fame will really get you.
You know, very subtle end. It's not, you know, still not crazy.
At this point, I think we probably stop.
All right.
But
well,
yeah, so that was Big Crit, Price of Fame. Like I said, I've heard it before, but this was Jake's first exposure to it. So what'd you think, man?
Never heard of Big Crit before, but I definitely believe this will be one I put in a playlist because I definitely really looked at his side of things in this, and I really liked his I in this tone of where he said, now I see what fame really gets you." He almost said it in a way with like regret a little bit, where he's like, "Man, now I see what it really gets you." Seems very tasteful with it. So I can't believe I never heard of this artist or this song, but this message is definitely something that I've never thought about when listening to rappers. You know, sometimes I've heard people like Hobson maybe talk about it once or twice, but definitely he just dedicated this whole song to it, and he hit it right on the head with this one. So I like this one. This one was good. The beat wasn't, you know, too jumpy, and I have a feeling it was too jumpy of a beat. It would have taken away from the meaning. So
Amen.
I like the subtle beat in the background that you don't really have to draw that much attention to. You can just listen to the lyrics. So I think Big Crit hit it on this one. He's good.
Yeah, and I echo all of the things that you said. You know, I think, you know, like you said, now I see what fame really gets you. Like basically saying like, oh yeah, you know, everybody has these ideas, and all my, you know, all my people that I grew up with and all this other stuff, you know, they have this idea that, oh, you got money. What are you upset about?
Yeah.
You know, here I am struggling. You're buying a new car for every week. You know, every week that I'm struggling, you're buying a new car. You got a new laundry, you know, a new laundry thing, and you got this and you got that, and it's like, no, man, like my struggles might be different than yours, but I still got them.
Yeah.
I still got them. And like, you know, he said, now I see what fame will really get you. Things again, there's a lot more. You have this grandiose idea of what it's like, but again, he has his struggles, and like he talked about before, he can't talk to people really about it because his family wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not rich, and especially if he's the first one in his family that's really made it big like this, you know, they're looking at him like, dude, well, take care of your problems because you need to take care of us.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know, and it's just like, who do you talk to about that stuff? Because again, when you're the rich guy and you're like, oh man, you know, I'm kind of depressed and stuff, people look at you like, what do you have to depress about?
You got
depressed
money,
about?
you
You
know.
got money. You don't have to stress over bills. You know, COVID is just another nap on the couch for you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what are you worried about? You're not living paycheck to paycheck. You're doing whatever you want. So what are you depressed for? And
Exactly.
it's very, I think the biggest message that he's putting out here is like, fame is great, but it can be very isolating. Whether that be it changing the people around you, they look at you in a different way now that you got a little bit of money. Maybe they rely on you, and just the overall picture that he painted here is just I don't know. It's just really, really, really a good song, I think. And like you said, I really, it makes me want to look into his catalog, if I'm
Definitely.
being honest. Like, if he has more stuff like this, I've been sleeping on him.
Yeah, me too.
Like, damn, this won't be the last song I hear from him. And I don't even think this will be the last song we do from him on our channel. Because
Definitely not. Yeah.
I definitely think he's worth giving a listen to. When you have something to talk about, like you said, the beat doesn't have to be crazy because it probably would have taken away from the lyricism.
It really would
If
have.
he
Yeah.
had some Lil Pump or Future or one of those type of artist beats, and you're just like, oh man, this is crazy, and then you're like, oh wow, but he's really saying stuff,
Yeah.
as opposed to just Percocets and lean and all this other stuff.
Gucci gang and
Gucci
yeah.
gang, exactly, all that. You guys know what we're talking about. But anyways, so yeah.
All right, so yeah, just to wrap up this video, this has been Big K.R.I.T's The Price of Fame. Definitely believe he hit it. It was a great song. Definitely be one to add to a playlist. And so yeah, hopefully get to see some more of his music on the channel. We'll definitely be bringing you guys more. This is not the last you've seen of Big K.R.I.T because I really enjoyed the song. But until then, guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed our reaction slash review of Big K.R.I.T's Price of Fame. And as always, we're gonna see you guys in the next reaction video. Until then, be safe, your friends, your family, and even yourself, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you
Peace out.
guys.